Hello, everyone. Welcome to Laser Tech Tuesdays at 2. I'm Jay Cottrell, the Global Marketing Communications Manager here at Laser Tech. Every Tuesday around 2 p.m. Mountain Time, we go live and discuss solutions in traffic safety and professional measurement. And you can join us on your coffee break. We're live for about 15 minutes. And please post below. We love hearing what you think. Comments on this video are answered either in real time or as the subject of another Facebook Live, and we'd love to hear your ideas and what you want to hear from us. Last week I said Aaron Ducre would be joining us, and sadly he is not going to join us today. He is sick. So instead, Bryan Edstrom has graciously agreed to appear with me, and I appreciate you coming on today, Bryan.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be the substitute.
You're a great substitute.
Thanks.
So just before we get into talking about what you do and the TruVISION, could you take a moment and just introduce yourself, who you are, what states you cover?
Sure. Bryan Edstrom. I am the Regional Sales Manager for LTI's Pacific region, which now stretches from Alaska down the West Coast and inland to Idaho, Utah, and Arizona. So pretty good chunk of the western part of the country.
Wow. So that brings up a question for me really quick. California's just gone back down on lockdown, and we've had all kinds of pandemic weirdness between the states.
Right.
How has that impacted you?
Well, it's made life a little tough as a traveling salesperson that can't travel all that much. So we've had to learn to adapt. Luckily, it seems like, video conferencing technology has really caught up to the pandemic lifestyle. So, like we're using Microsoft Teams now. We've really learned to do sales presentations and product trainings via the web on these, video conferencing tools. So it's definitely a change, but it's one we're learning.
So are you actually doing demonstrations through Teams then?
Yes, we are. And combining that also with having our corporate office ship out a demo unit sometimes to a person that's wanting to see something so they can get it in their hands, and then we can walk them through how to use it via a web call like this, a video chat.
And has it been difficult for the departments that you're working with?
It's been great, actually. I mean, as far as it's much better than not being able to do a product demo at all. And like I said, whether they're watching me kind of go through the ins and outs of a product or, combine that with them having it in their hands too, it really, because I have all the units at my house as well, so we can kind of push the buttons together virtually. So it
Okay.
really has been okay, all things considered, it's been okay.
Okay, so obviously this is one of the reasons why you're here. I would love for you to show me how you do that.
Okay, well, I guess I've got my TruVISION laser here.
Okay.
So this is LTI's LiDAR unit that has video and photo capabilities. So it's kind of our, if you want to say our higher end or more complicated unit, complex, I guess is the better word. So this is one where we would ship a demo unit to the customer, and then I would like to walk them through it because there are some menus and some settings and some stuff that I like to make sure they have, the correct data dialed in there before they go out on the street and start, clocking cars with it. So what I've got here, I've got an overhead projector that enables me to put it above my TruVISION unit. So are you able to see the menu there?
Yes, I can. That is pretty amazing.
Yeah, the technology is great, really. And so what I like to do is just walk them through. So when you power up this TruVISION, you land on this main menu screen. And really, I tell people this is the only screen they really need to worry about. And it's things like putting in the operator name up top, the name of the officer that's using it. The location, I've got Reno for mine. I live in Reno, Nevada. The operator ID number below that would be similar to like a badge number. The location ID to the right of that is where you can get more specific. Like, yes, I'm in Reno. But let's say maybe I'm out there enforcing on McCarran Boulevard, which is one of our main roadways here in Reno. And then underneath that, you have the speed limit. That's where you're telling the unit what the speed limit of the road is. And then to the right is the capture speed, which would be the speed at which you want to enforce that limit at. So a lot of times an agency will have a little bit of a threshold in there. They're not pulling everyone over that's going a couple miles an hour over. They're going to give them a little threshold. So, in this case, I have it set to be 10 miles over the posted speed limit. And what that is enabling the unit to do is to save files to the SD card in here of those vehicles that are only traveling above that threshold you want to set it at. So A, it gives the customer less files and stuff to sort through at the end of the day back when they're looking through the files on their computer. And B, it also saves disk space on the SD card because you're not saving every car that drives by, only those ones that you want to actually, go and pull them over for speeding. So,
right. So is the threshold, is that always like a set number above or below or above the speed limit that you set, or are they independently set?
I hear all different things. Yeah, it's just kind of up to the individual agency, and a lot of times on the roadway that they're on, like when you're going 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 over on a 35, that's more noticeable and dangerous a lot of times than maybe going, 5 to 10 over on a 65 mile an hour highway or something like that. So it really just depends on the agency, what they kind of use. But the next couple things I'll just show you real quick. And the reason I'm showing you this is because I also want to show people that this is, some people will get intimidated by this unit, but really there's just a few things you've got to set on this main menu. It really is a simple unit to use and operate. You just plug in some basic data here on the main menu and then you're off and ready. So the last couple things are the tracking distance. That's telling the unit how far in you want to track that car, because how this works is you're going to take a shot of the vehicle down the road, let's say 600 or 800 feet down the roadway, and you're going to lock on that speed reading. And then you're going to keep your finger on the trigger and basically just track them in closer to you with video evidence until it reaches this tracking distance that you set. And we always tell people 250 to 350 feet usually is that optimal distance where you're capturing a nice crystal clear picture of the license plate. And they can adjust that as they find suitable. So I've got mine set at 250 for now. But so basically, you take the shot down the road, let the car come into you. Once that car gets within 250 feet or whatever you set your tracking distance at, the unit will beep at you twice to let you know that car has reached that point and that the saved video file is now completed on the SD card and you can go pull them over. So,
wow.
And then the last couple things are just a date and time. And then these bottom options are an auto capture distance and some offsets that really you don't really need to mess with for normal regular speed enforcement. So, and then once you have that, you just pull the trigger one more time and you're ready to go out there and start taking shots with it. So, really.
So do you need to calibrate or do self-testing, or how do you know that you're going to be getting something accurate? This seems very easy.
Good question, and it's the same process you do for a regular laser speed gun that doesn't have a camera and that kind of thing. So it's typically just a fixed distance test where a police agency will mark out a known distance. Usually out in their parking lot, they'll have about 100-foot distance marked out to they'll have a line on the ground and then a sign or something like that. And you'll just stand there and you'll take a shot with the unit, and it'll show you 0 miles an hour and 100 feet distance. And as long as that 100 feet it's showing you matches the 100 foot that you've measured out of your parking lot, then it's calibrated and ready to go. The unit also does a self-test every time it powers up, and if it senses something wrong with it internally, it's not going to let you go out and enforce speeds incorrectly. It's going to actually give you error codes and basically not work. So it's got some self-checks and then some basic, the fixed distance test is really all you need to do. So,
right. So you could be pretty confident if it's throwing you codes, then you know it won't work.
Yes.
Right. But if it's working, then you have the confidence you can go out. It's ready to go.
Exactly.
That's nice.
Unfortunately, I'm in enforcement mode on it now, but I can't go out and I don't have cars, luckily, driving through my house here. But I'll just show you real quick when you're out in the field using this and you want to kind of spot check to see if you're getting good images on it. This LCD screen on the back has a nice viewfinder here, and you can play back the files that you're taking in the field. So hopefully you can see this okay. This is the car approaching. And this was kind of a bad overcast day with a lot of wildfire smoke in the air. It's from a demo I did a couple months ago in Sacramento area. And there was heavy wildfire smoke. So it's not a nice sunny day, but you can still see what the clip looks like here. That's just rewinding it. Play it forward again. And when it ends, you can say, well, I don't really see the license plate that clearly. Maybe I had the tracking distance set out a little too far. Well, that's an easy fix because you can just zoom in up to 5 times, and as you can see, that plate is front and center now. So
yeah, that's nice.
Really a nice unit overall. The camera in it's great. And then once you're out there in the field using it, you basically go back to the office and take the SD card out and plug it into your office computer, and that's where you can actually use our clip viewer software to go through and look more detailed at the clips and pick out the best frame rate. So if you got a second, I'll just quickly show you what that looks like if you got time.
Oh, we have time.
Perfect.
Are you able to use these files on any movie viewer, or is this something that's proprietary?
It's proprietary. We wanted the evidence chain to be encrypted and secure, so they are proprietary. It is a proprietary file type that you have to have our TruVISION software viewer in order to view those clips. And that's something that we give out for free to whoever buys one of these units. And I know in Colorado, where our corporate office is, I even think the court systems there have the TruVISION clip viewer software on all their computers to make things very easy for viewing the evidence in court. So are you able to see this that I got pulled up here?
Yes. Yes, I see it.
So this is the same clip I was just showing you on the back of the unit. And now this is obviously a larger screen inside the clip viewer software. And again, let's say you think that's a little too far away, so you can zoom in on this as well as much as you want. You really get a clear shot. So got a couple here I wanted to show you. Here's another one, a little cross traffic in the middle, but so where you see the crosshairs pop up, that's where the speed reading took place. And then you're basically just keeping your finger on the trigger and tracking them in. It basically acts as a high-resolution video camera at that point, just capturing video and photo evidence. So this is saved as a video clip, but I can go through frame by frame, as you can see, and pick out the best image of that plate within that clip. More. And there's also the examples I'm showing, those were kind of, let me show you a quick, nice sunny Las Vegas day here real quick, where there wasn't a cloud of smoke in the air, and you can see the difference. So,
what's amazing is that even in low light, you were getting good pictures.
Yes. Yeah, and what enables it to do that is the unit has autofocus and auto iris built into it, or auto shutter. So it's adjusting to the distances you're shooting at, it's dialing itself in, and it's also adapting to different lighting conditions. And it's doing it all on its own. There's no manual adjustment or anything.
That takes the guesswork out of it.
Right. And then from here, let's say you wanted to use this image for court, and all you're going to do is go up here and print this out, print current. I'm going to just print it as a PDF example here real quick. Show you kind of what the finished product here is. So now I've got the file name up top, the date and the time, the serial number of the unit, the operator ID or the badge number of the officer using it. The measured speed was 26 miles an hour at a distance of 340.2 2 feet. The speed limit of the road was 25. And down here is where you can have, the street name or the intersection printed on there as well if you want that. But this top smaller picture is always going to be the picture where the speed reading took place with the crosshairs on it. And then down below is where I scrolled through that video clip and picked out that best image of the license plate. And that's always going to be the larger picture down below. So it's just a one-page printout. You got the speed measurement data up top with the crosshairs picture where the reading took place, and then down below is really what you scroll through and deem to be the best picture from that video clip.
So there can be no doubt.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a lot of court time, overtime, and stuff like that. So let's see if I can get back to you and stop sharing my screen here. There we go.
All right, there we are.
So a quick little overview. Hopefully that wasn't too technical or anything, but that's the type of stuff we're doing right now. Instead of me going out and sitting in the office or the department with them, I can do this stuff over. We use Microsoft Teams, but WebEx and all the other ones that are out there too. So
right, yeah. And if they have a demo unit, they could just follow along and do what you're showing them. That's
absolutely
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. We're adapting to strange times, and we're doing it pretty well. So
that's true.
Yeah.
So business is picking up for you then?
Yeah, it is. It seems to be kind of that initial shock of COVID, where everybody kind of froze in place and budgets were frozen and stuff to kind of see, what the full impact was. And now it seems like, customers are finding more funding and showing more interest in getting demo units in their hands as they plan purchases and also plan for budgeting now for next year. So, yeah.
Right. Oh, well, that's great. I'm glad that you are able to use technology to your advantage, especially that overhead camera, which probably helps the walkthroughs immensely.
It does. It's great. Yeah.
So I have one final question for you, Bryan.
Okay.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving dessert?
Ooh, I'm a traditionalist pumpkin pie guy, really. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm a pumpkin pie person as well.
Yeah. I only like it about once a year on Thanksgiving, but I do enjoy it one time a year. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to join me live today. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on before we sign off?
I don't think so. Just I want everyone to know that we have a good demo program. We ship the units out from our corporate office. Amber and Candy have been doing a great job of getting those in the hands of people that want to see them right now during these strange times. And like you saw, we can still get them up to speed to where they can go out in the field and practice using this stuff for a couple weeks on their own and seeing what they think. So
yeah. So I imagine you're getting a really good amount of feedback with that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everyone else who's joined us online today. If you want to be alerted about upcoming Tuesday at 2 events, click the like button and follow LaserTech's page. And we'll be back again next week on December 15th. So until then, stay safe, everyone, and wear your mask.